Welcome aboard to episode 2 of the Road to 180. So first of all, I want to give a huge shout out to everybody who watched the last episode, and I just want to say I don't take any of the support I'm getting for granted. So we're going to keep the momentum going into episode 2, which is going to be a bit different because in today's episode I'll be showing you guys a bit of training I did last week, a bit of conditioning I did, along with some grocery shopping to give you guys a quick weigh-in, a little bit of posing, and yeah man, so let's get into it. The first meal of the day is basically some eggs, some mushrooms, yellow beans, green beans, a little bit of black beans, and I might be forgetting something, but either way, I'm gonna put it right here for the macros, the calories, all that type of stuff. And this is basically how I'm starting off my day. All right guys, it's like 8:30 in the morning right now. I'm about to check the weights and let's see what we got going on. For the weigh-in, 186 in this particular day. This is pretty good because it's 1 pound down from last week. Feeling really good, not having any types of cravings. And keep in mind, I was also 184 earlier in the week, but I like to do my weigh-ins on the Sunday. I was just curious midweek. So now we got a bit of posing, flex and unflexed. Here we got the unflexed, 186. So I'm personally not the type of person who's gonna give myself like pats on the back or anything. But when I saw this video, when I started editing it, man, like this part right here, where I just flex the abs, I really like the way my V-taper's coming along. You know, the whole shoulder to waist ratio. Lats are really showing from the front. There's still a ways to go, but there's nothing wrong giving yourself a little pat on the back, you know, especially if you guys are experiencing the same thing as well. And yeah, I'm very pleased with this, but there's still many ways to go. And I know that even when this series is up and I reach the 180, I know myself, I'm gonna be on the next thing, like what, 175, whatever the case is. But just practicing a little bit of posing too, it's a little back, little bicep. So as you guys can see with my fat distribution, I don't have much in my lower back. My arms don't store much fat. I store a lot of fat in my obliques, my face, and my lower body especially. But now we're on some conditioning.
That's it.
This is my 3rd time doing it, and I'm just getting those variability gains, you know? A lot of what we do in the gym is really in the sagittal plane, stationary. So this gives me the opportunity to explore other movement patterns. You know, a bit of rotation, a lot of alternation, you know, alternating from side to side. And this really helps me feel like my left heel, which I have trouble feeling in certain exercises. So I'm really happy about that. On to some lower body training. Keep in mind that some of these videos are done on different days. This was not done all on the same day. So I just took certain parts of my week and I just threw them into the video. So this is a lower body session with a quad focus. So I had some SSBs. If you guys want to see every single set for next episode, let me know in the comment section below. By the way, let me know what you guys think of this whole setup for these day in the life videos and this whole series. You know, if you guys have any recommendations or anything, but some of these videos I sped up to like a 2x speed. Don't want to keep you guys in all day. This video could be like an hour and a half long. So I did a lot of edits. So start off with some SSBs, did a couple sets, did some trap bar deadlifts, the high handle. Next program, I'm actually gonna do a low handle on these. You guys are probably wondering why is he even doing a trap bar deadlift. And the reason why, along with the reason why I haven't really been posting lifting footage, is because I was dealing with certain asymmetries. You know, my right side of my body was really compressed. The left side was really extended and expanded. My left foot was slightly forward. So a lot of like asymmetries I had to fix. And basically a lot of my center of mass was going forward as well. So, you know, these are things I was working on with my coaches. But I basically found a coach who really understood my situation, and now we're on the right path. The lifts are going where they need to go, so I'm really pleased with that. And the reason why I'm personally using the trap bar is because this keeps my center of mass more back. A lot of it's really forward, so the fact that I have the hands on the side of me, it really keeps the center more back. So really happy about that. And the same thing goes with the SSB. I could get my hands in front of me, which helps me get more on my heels. Obviously when you squat, you should feel your whole foot, but you shouldn't not feel your heels either. So I feel my whole foot, I feel really good. So after the trap bar, basically did some seated hamstring curls that you saw on the cable station. This is a decent alternative for people who don't have a seated hamstring curl machine, but they want to still do it. And then after that, we went on to the split squat. By the way, I didn't mention I did the hack right after the trap bar. Forgot to mention that. It's just a split squat. And then I got into some adductors. So adductors are really good for restoring hip extension. So for people who have like these center of mass issues, it's really good for, you know, bodybuilding aesthetic purposes. You don't want a huge gap between your legs. So this really fills that up, gives your legs more of a thick look. And I know I mentioned in the fighting, or should I say the boxing, that I get a lot of variability from that. I still feel a bit locked up after all these big compound movements from this session. So I threw in some rotation in there with the wood chop. So this is another day. This is an upper back session. And I also did some hamstrings, so upper back hamstring. And I actually have a chest and lat session that'll be in the next episode, episode 3. Let me know if you guys want to see that. I'm still gonna post it anyways, but. So I basically started this day off with the chest supported T-bar row. Hands down one of my favorite exercises for back, especially the upper back. The weighted stretch is crazy. Contraction at the top is nice. Did a couple sets of that. Then I jumped into the weighted pull-up with a wide grip. This is great for the upper back, but I personally get a crazy lat stretch and good lat DOMs on this exercise as well. So not every exercise. I know you see certain people on Instagram talking about like what bias is what, but I personally feel a large amount of lats on the wide grip pull-up. Even though they say, you know, your arms should be adducted towards your side. If you want to maximize your lats, I get a great stretch on the wide grip pull-ups. So here I'm training in a different gym, if you guys don't notice. And I just like to do that sometimes, you know, change up the environment, you know, build new connections. So that row I just did, the chest supported machine, hammer strength, felt amazing. I'm personally a huge advocate of hammer strength stuff. My gym personally doesn't have it, but it is what it is. Then the last back movement that I did was the wide grip cable row. I do a pause, and keep in mind that a lot of these clips in this video are at the 2x speed. So right after that, we went into the seated hamstring curl. So now we're working with a real machine, not just a cable station. And you guys are probably wondering, why does he not have his back on the bench like a regular person? Like just sit down all the way back. But with myself, I tend to feel my erectors if I don't have more hip flexion. So when I get my hips a bit forward, or my torso, and get in that semi-Zercher position, I could feel my hamstrings way more, my erectors don't jump in as well. And I just finished a cycle of my RDLs with the barbell. I worked up to like over 3 plates, a lot of pause reps, tempos. I have some of it on my IG, my stories, if you guys missed it. So I'm basically, this is like coach's protocols. Basically has me doing the trapper RDL. It's my first time doing it. Haven't done this exercise in a very long time. So I'm just giving it a test. But these actually feel way better for myself due to the center of mass stuff I was talking about with the trap bar. So I'm really excited for this cycle to use the trap bar, hopefully work up some good numbers, and I finished off some shrugs. As you guys could see, very cruddy weather, but still getting the steps in, you know, walking the grocery store, the bag. It's not always gonna be the nicest weather. You're trying to get your steps in, you know. Been doing more conditioning, by the way, with the bike, which is helping as well. It's complementing the boxing. So I'm doing all types of conditioning right now, you know. But that's pretty much it, man. All right, so as you guys can see, I'm back home. Just got back from the grocery store, and it felt really nice to be at the grocery store for once without anybody wearing their masks. And I was getting some footage in the grocery store, but then I told myself, why am I gonna get footage over there if I'm gonna bring it back home and then show you guys again? So I had to pick a grocery store here. I'm just gonna show you guys the food that I bought here. It's gonna make it a lot more simple. I'm gonna show you guys food by food, and let me know in the comment section below if you guys are currently eating some of the stuff that I'm personally eating for myself, which you guys don't have to copy every single meal. I'm just showing you guys what I'm personally eating. So without getting too into specifics, we got eggs. Basically have this for breakfast. Good source of protein. Boneless, skinless chicken breast. This is really good for protein as well, and it's very low in fat. So really bang for your buck right here. Apples, hands down one of my favorite snacks. as of recent. And the reason why is because a lot of the food that I've personally been chewing has been very soft. And when you eat a lot of apples, it's good for your jaw health. And it's just one of those snacks that don't expire very fast. So I personally like apples a lot. You know, you can even put a little bit of peanut butter on it if you're bulking. I'm personally cutting, so I don't have the luxury of putting a lot of peanut butter on. I can still do it, but it's gonna dig into my calories. So just eat apples as a snack, have 1 or 2 of them. They're also very satiating as well. Have some sparkling water. Okay, have some tuna cans, obviously quick protein. Have some veal that was on sale. The reason why I got the veal is because I haven't tried veal in a long time, so I just wanted to get a taste of what it tastes like again, you know, so got nothing to lose. When it's on sale, feel free to explore foods, right? Because you don't want to be too limited, unless if you're like getting ready for a prep, you're on like an extremely specific plan. My plan has a little bit of flexibility, but I'm still keeping it into account when I'm putting in my FitnessPal. So got some popcorn right here. This is really good for snacks, especially when I come back home after a long day. Very low in calories, good amount of fiber, and you know, it's very light before I go to sleep. I have some lentils, some beans, lentils again. Okay, peppers. This is really good for when you're making some beef, when you're making some eggs, and if you want to add in some food to basically get more out of less calories, you want to fill yourself up faster, just throw some peppers in there. You know, just slice them up. If you're eating some pasta, or you know, like let's say some zucchini, if you're on a cut, you could have, you know, some peppers on that too with your sauce. It's gonna be super good. Got the onions right here. Another food that's really good for your jaw health is carrots. Really hard to chew, but it's gonna strengthen the jaw muscles, and this is really gonna complement a lot of your suppers. I actually have this with my chicken, and super good as well. So another thing that a lot of people hate on a lot is deli meats. And I personally don't know why, because it's a good amount of protein, of not many calories, saturated fat isn't too high, there's not much fiber, there's no fiber, but there's a little bit of sodium. But overall, deli meats, super underrated. I feel like they personally don't get the love they deserve. But then again, there's some junk deli meats as well. So butter chicken, that's what I've been putting on my chicken. You guys saw this from the last episode. This is the low calorie syrup, which is good for my buttermilk pancakes in the morning. And then we got some Dijon, which is basically like another type of mustard. I like to add this to my tuna sandwiches, put a little avocado in there, it tastes super good. Hands down, one of my favorite snacks, I'll even have this for breakfast sometimes to complement my breakfast, is some Greek yogurt. Even after a long day, definitely have some Greek yogurt as well. And another thing with Greek yogurt is that if you're eating this at the end of the day, it's really easy to digest. It's just a nice little snack you to have before bed. So bananas, this gives you crazy pumps in the gym, crazy energy before your workouts. I personally don't take pre-workouts, but I have some bananas before, and this gives me all the energy I need. And I personally recommend this to a lot of my clients and just people in general, you know, who tend to drink a lot of coffee. They want pre-workouts before they train. If you eat 1 or 2 bananas, for most of you, you'll be fine with that. We got some yellow beans. I personally started putting my yellow beans with my breakfast actually. So I'll have like an egg / veggie mix, and the yellow beans go really well with that. I was actually putting some yellow beans from the can with my breakfast, but I personally rather have just the traditional yellow beans. And we're almost done here. Basically got some prunes. It's the first time I'll be trying this prune from this mark, so I'll keep you guys posted on that. And then we have some frozen veggies, which I'm gonna start getting frozen veggies a lot more, because if you guys saw the last episode, I'm very big on frozen fruits. So blueberries, strawberries, save a lot of money. But also these frozen vegetables don't expire fast as well. You just put them in the freezer and you're gonna get a couple more months out of it. It's not really a rush to eat them. Then the broccoli, you'll notice I only got half of them because I personally don't like the other half. So just like this, and this complements my boneless, skinless chicken breast very well. Then we got the protein pitas. This is really good for the deli meats, or even my tuna sandwiches. I can make like a tuna wrap. I could make a ham sandwich wrap. You know, I could put some lettuce, I could put some spinach in there, I could put some diced tomatoes. I could make all types of different combinations for some good pitas. And I'll actually have 2 pitas at once. I'll maybe have something on the side like a soup. So we basically have a little bit of spinach on sale, and then we have some tomatoes. So slice those up. Diced tomatoes or sliced tomatoes goes very well with the eggs, and that's pretty much it. This cost me like $130, which isn't so bad. And usually my groceries cost me, for those of you guys who are curious, it's roughly like $150 a week. So it's roughly like $600 a month, which to some people is really bad, but to me it's pretty affordable considering the field that I'm in and what I'm doing. But there's obviously some cheaper alternatives as well, and some of the stuff that I'm eating is of higher quality, but that's pretty much it. All right, so it's a new day. I'm gonna show you guys what I'm eating right now, and then we'll get into some closing thoughts. So I basically have my appetizer for lunch, some Greek yogurt, bananas, along with some prunes, the ones I bought last night on the Sunday. Today is Monday. And I basically have the protein pita that I showed you before. And I have some deli meats in here, some Dijon mustard, along with some sliced up tomatoes. And I put a bit of lentils in here. So it's kind of like a salad, but I just threw it in the pita. So super solid right here. Had a good amount of water before. I'm gonna have a good amount of water after. And yeah, man, so I really appreciate all the support. Let me know what you guys want to see in the next episode. I'll be glad to deliver. And I'm really feeling optimistic about the rest of this week, man. There's a lot of stuff coming up. And I also have episode 3 I'm gonna start working on, along with some content that I'll have in between these episodes as well. Because eventually I'm gonna reach the goal, and then it's on to some new stuff. So I'm really feeling excited about it. Hope you guys have a good week. If you guys are looking for some coaching, personalized by yours truly, let me know. You could hit me up on IG at PG.Coaching, and we can get into it. So super excited. Have a good week. See you guys soon.